Good day, everyone. So today we'll be having another module na i-discuss natin which will focus sa pag-compute ng area under the curves or under a curve and areas between two curves. So here in our module 12 and 13, ang focus nito ay pag-compute ng area ng irregular shapes or pag-compute ng area sa pagitan ng dalawang function. So actually, these modules is, kumbaga, application na to ng integral calculus. Kumbaga, yung mga na-discuss natin from the previous topic, from basic integration formulas hanggang sa mga trigonometric function, integration ng mga yon, hyperbolic function, is i-apply natin dito. So mahalaga rin na balikan nyo, since tapos naman na kayo sa inyong basic math, yung lalo yung analytic geometry, wherein nag-graph kayo ng mga functions, so kailangan yung balikan. So later, explain ko bakit kailangan nyo siyang mabalikan during na nagsasolve na tayo ng problems later. So before we discuss kung paano mag-solve ng area dito sa ating module, let's first look in this picture. So as you can see, dito mayroong bata na bumubuo ng puzzle. Okay? So dito, pwede nating isipin that each pieces of the puzzle dito sa jigsaw puzzle is the differential element dx. So pwedeng dy and depende sa inyo. Basta in short, yung dx natin is the differential element. Kaya yan, dx lahat yan. And we know na itong puzzle is pag pinagsama-sama natin yung mga pieces is makakabuo ng isang malaking picture. Okay? So we could think that the dx is pag pinagsama-sama natin is makakabuo ng isang malaking picture which will represent a function. Okay, so in short, pag pinagsama-sama, in short, yung dx is pagsasama-samahin natin para makabuo ng isang picture or isang area. So kung i-connect natin siya sa discussion natin today, so yun ang gagawin natin. Bibigyan tayo ng problem ng differential element or derivative, tapos i-integrate natin para makuha natin yung area. So dito sa ating topic is may limits din tayo. Kumbaga, ang i-analyze natin dito sa module natin is definite integrals. Okay, so I hope clear yung ating kumbaga, real-life application. Kumbaga, i-connect natin ng malinaw. Anyway, let's proceed to our discussion. So here in our topic, meron tayong steps on how we solve. Okay? Tapos may formula rin kayo nakikita dito sa ating screen. Okay? So steps on solving area under and between the curves. Actually, class is magkahiwalay ito sa module natin. But pwede natin siya i-treat as isa lang. Okay? So parang isang formula lang tatandaan. Okay? Or dalawa. Okay? Or isang set ng formula. Anyway, first step in solving areas is sketching the region. Or ito yung pag-graph. Okay? Kaya sabi ko kanina, kailangan yung balikan yung geometry nyo sa previous year nyo, is para, kumbaga, madali. Kailangan kasing ginagraph yung image o yung function dito. So, sketch the region or sketch the graph whose area is to be bound. So, as you can see here in our left and right graph, di ba meron tayong curve? So, kasi sabi, di ba, area between two curves and area under the curve. Okay, so ito yung isang function o isang curve. Ang equation niya is yung f of x. Yan yung f of x. Yung nasa baba naman is yung g of x. Ayan yan, okay. Kaya areas between two curves. So kapag, so may cases naman na pag ganito yung graph natin, nasa gilid yung gx o yung isang function, and then nasa kabilang side naman yung fx. Okay, so if the problem is ganito na nasa taas yung f of x, saka yung g of x is nasa baba, gagamitin natin itong formula na to, wherein area will be equal to integral of f of x minus g of x dx. So pwede rin natin siyang i-treat as a is equal to integral of y function yung upper minus yung y function na lower. Okay? D of x. Ganyan siya isulat, class. Okay? So wherein yung y is yung gx, yung y upper is yung gx, and yung y lower is yung g of x. Of course, meron yung limit na a to b. So kaya magkakaroon tayo ng value dyan ng a na number. Okay, wala nang variable. So sabi dito, sketch the region, areas bounded, and next is determine the boundaries or limits a and b. So the limit is usually given or minsan sinusolve natin kapag hindi binigay, and try natin later i-discuss paano siya isolve. Okay? Next is set up the definite integral and simplify. So una natin gawin is sketch. And then hanapin yung limit. Then pag set up ng definite integral, gamitin nyo lang yung formula na to. Ito, yan. Gamitin nyo lang yan. Or yung sinulat ko dito sa right side na formula. And last, evaluate the integral to obtain the required area. So ito, integrate nyo na, simplify your answer, and makakakuha na kayo ng value ng area between two curves or under the curve. Okay? So dito kasi sa ating graph, is meron tayong tinatawag na strips. Okay? So may strip dyan, sobrang nipis ng strip na yan. Yan yung strip natin. Yan yung d of x, sobrang nipis niyan. Okay? So kagaya ng example natin kanina sa puzzle, etong d of x na to is pag pinagsama-sama natin, marami yan, class. Tabi-tabi yan na sobrang ninipis. So pag pinagsama-sama natin yan, yung d of x na yun, is makakabuo tayo ng isang area. Okay, sana clear yan. And then, yung strip natin na yan, kapag naman horizontal, pwede yan maging horizontal, kagaya nito. Ayan, pag ganyan siya. So yan naman ay dy. Okay? Yung, yung strip natin is nakadepende sa ating curves na maitodrawing yan. So for example, meron kang strip dito sa ating left side, to, dyan. Yung strip na yan actually is aandar mula dito sa A, papunta dito sa B. So kung mula dito, aandar yan papunta dito sa B. Okay? So, ganun natin gamitin yung integration sa pag-solve ng area. No? Kumbaga meron kasing tinatawag na summation. Ano, yung parang yung pag ganito. So kumbaga, pwede itong gamitin sa pag-solve ng area. But we could use integration or integral calculus para ma-solve yung areas ng function. Mas mabilis siya. So dito class, if meron kang horizontal strip naman, okay, so may horizontal strip kaya na ganyan. So yan ay dy and then x. And then itong horizontal strip natin is magta-travel from dito, okay, pataas yan class, hanggang dito sa ating boundary dito sa taas. So from limit C to D. Okay. So yan ay yung area is equal to, kung kanina sa vertical strip natin is y upper minus y lower times dx, dito naman is x right minus x left. Okay. Yung x left and x right na yan is yan plus yung ating function. Okay. So times dy naman yan. Okay. So of course, meron ka ding limit na C to D. So ganyan natin kuhain yung ating area kapag horizontal strip yung ginamit. So same lang din naman yan sa f of y. So as you can see, yung f of y natin is yung x right. Tapos yung g of x or g of y is yung ating x left. Okay, times dy. So dun lang yun galing class. Anyway, alam ko medyo clouded pa yung concept sa inyo. So let's try to solve problems para mas maging clear. Okay, first example we have here, find the area under the curve y is equal to 2x from 0 to 2. Okay, x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 2. So dito, so you can see, binigyan tayo ng curve. Actually, it's not a curve, ano? So, pero in general, sinasabi lang natin na it's a curve. Anyway, pag kasi nakakita kayo ng ganito, tapos 1 lang yung exponent ng x, alam natin na ito ay isang linear function or simply a line. Okay? So, meron tayong steps dito. Steps in solving the area, which we presented earlier. So first is sketch the region, kung ano yung area na i-analyze natin. So binigyan tayo dyan ng x is equal to 0. So pwede rin natin i-graph yung x is equal to 0. So pwede natin sabihin na kapag x is equal to 0 in y axis or simply dy axis. So pag binigyan ka naman ng y is equal to 0, ito ay yung x axis. So pwede nyong isipin lang yan agad. Anyway, dito tayo sa problem, x is equal to 0, yung mismong y axis natin. Ito. Okay. Binigyan tayo ng x is equal to 2. So sabihin natin, nandito yung 1, and nandito yung 2, ito yung 3. Sige, graph lang natin. So dito magpo-fall yung ating line. Sabihin natin, ito ang ating line. So ayan yung x is equal to 2 natin. Lagay lang din natin yung x is equal to 0. Okay? So na-graph na natin itong dalawa. Next, yung y is equal to 2x. So paano ba natin ginagraph yan? So konting refresh lang sa paano pag-graph niyan. So we have y is equal to 2x. We just simply set up the values of x. And then substitute natin dito sa ating equation o sa ating function. Assuming that x is equal to 0 or set up natin x is equal to 0. So, lagay nyo lang dito 2 times 0. Di 0 ang ating y. So, if x is equal to 1, yung y natin is 2. And then kapag ang ating x is equal to 2, ang ating y is equal to 4. So, pwede na siguro i-try natin. Ano? So, eto, kung 0 yung x, 0 din yung y. So, magpo-fall dito yung isang point. If x is equal to 1, 2 ang ating y. So, pwede nating i-graph, ilagyan muna ng mga mark ang ating graph. Okay. So, if x is 1, ang ating y is 2. So, dito siya magpo-fall. And then, kapag ang ating x is 2, ang y ay 4. So, dito siya magpo-fall. Andyan. Okay. So, connect nyo lang yung tatlong line na yan, as usual. Okay. So, ito yung ating y is equal to 2x. So, ngayon, meron na tayong intersection, meron na tayong boundaries. So, ito kasi, itong problem natin is actually, pag tinignan nyo sa module is above the x-axis yung pinapakompute sa atin. No? So therefore, etong area na to ang ating isosolve. Okay? So ang boundary natin is yung mismong function na y is equal to 2x, itong nakaslant. Tapos, yung x is equal to 2 and then yung mismong x-axis. Okay? So kanina nagkaroon tayo ng concept ng strips, di ba? So lagay lang natin yung strip. Ito. So sobrang nipis lang ng strip na yun plus. Yun yung ating dx. Since nakatayo siya, dx yung ating strip. Ano? Okay, so meron na tayo ngayong region. Nag-graph na natin yung given function. So next, we determine the boundaries or limits from A and B. So since we have a vertical strip dito na dx, so yung dx natin ay horizontal strip is under mula dito sa ating dito, under siya, papunta dito sa 2. Okay? So since ito yung boundary natin is mula 0 hanggang 2, under yung ating strip mula 0 to 2. So binigyan na tayo ng limits ng 0 to 2. Okay? So next is set up the definite integral and simplify. So kanina, meron tayong formula na inintroduce. Kapag vertical ang ating strip, gagamitin natin is integral of y upper minus y lower dx. Okay? Tapos ang limits niya is from A to B. Ito ay for vertical strip. Okay? Tapos may isa din, A is equal to integral of x right o yung function na nasa right and then x left dy for horizontal strip. Okay? So ang limit nito is A and B or CD, pwede din naman. So ano for representation lang naman ng ating formula yan. So itong dalawa na ito yung ginagamit natin na formula para mag-solve ng area. Going back to our solution, we will use the itong first formula natin since naka-vertical strip tayo. So therefore, A is equal to, so yung y upper natin, o itong nasa taas na portion na to, ito, yan. Yan yung 2x natin. Therefore, 2x yung y upper natin. Ano? So minus yung y lower natin o yung function na nasa y is itong nasa baba. Wherein yan ay y is equal to 0 since nasa x-axis siya. So tingnan nyo to, di ba? Kapag yung x-axis, y is equal to 0 ang kanyang function. So therefore, 2x minus 0. So dx. Kasi x to, dapat dx din yan. Okay? So, yung limit natin is 0 to 2. So a is equal to, simplify lang natin, 2x dx 0 to 2. Equal to, integral of 2x dx. Yan natin, shortcut na natin yan. So 2x squared over 2 from 0 to 2 or just x squared 0 to 2. Ngayon, to get the actual area ng ating function, evaluate the integral. So a is equal to, so upper limit muna tayo. Yung x squared natin, substitute natin yung 2. Therefore, 2 squared minus yung lower limit na 0, but squared. Therefore, our area will be equal to 4. Huwag niyong kalimutan ang ating unit. Therefore, our area will be equal to 4 square unit. Okay? Okay, we have here example number 2. Find the first quadrant area under the curve f of x is equal to negative 1/3 x cubed plus 3x. So as you graph yung ating given function, so ganyan yung magiging itsura niya. So usually, most So kapag ang ating given function is nasa third degree, automatically ang graph niya it's either pa ganito or nakahigang S or nakapatayo na S. So depende naman sa given function yun. Pero actually kapag third degree, ang ating function is S yung ah, graph niya. So anyway, pinapahanap sa atin yung first quadrant area ng ating curve. So dumaan siya sa 0, 0 or sa origin ng ating coordinate plane. So meaning magkakaroon talaga tayo ng area in this portion saka dito sa baba. But since ni-require lang ng problem is itong portion na to, ito lang yung isosolve natin. So walang binigay na any x value for the boundary or limits ng ating function para ma-solve yung area. So tingnan muna natin kung paano yung pwede natin gawin. So nakikita natin sa illustration or sa ating graph na yung curve natin is dadaan dun sa ating origin or 0, 0 and then dadaan din siya sa 3. So pwede natin i-conclude that our limit or boundary A and B is just yung lower limit is yung 0 o yung upper limit naman is 3. Okay, so pwede nating ganun yung gawin. But minsan hindi accurate yung graph natin. So mas maganda na i- i-solve natin algebraically. Pag sinolve natin algebraically, so sulat lang natin yung given function natin o yung given curve, y is equal to negative 1/3 x cubed plus 3x. So ngayon, alam natin na dumaan sila sa x-axis pero hindi lang tayo sure kung saang part. Kahit na visible naman natin, puprove lang natin na dito sila dumaan. Okay? So sabihin natin, pag dumaan kasi sa x-axis, yung y natin doon sa x-axis is 0. So sabihin natin if y is equal to 0, 0 lang natin yung y. So negative 1/3 x cubed plus 3x. So first, i-transpose natin yung nasa right values natin. So 1/3 x cubed minus 3x is equal to 0. So pwede natin i-factor out itong 1/3. So 1/3, so ito may iwan yung x cubed minus 9x. Okay. So kahit ipag i-distribute nyo naman to, so yung 1/3 dinistribute natin sa 9x, babalik ka lang sa 3x. So 0. So divide both sides by 1/3. So mawawala lang yung 1/3 na yan. So you have now x cubed minus 9x is equal to 0. So ngayon, i-factor out natin yung isang x. So you have x squared minus 9 is equal to 0. So factor out pa natin tong, i-factor natin tong x squared minus 9 yan ay magiging x times x minus 3 and then x plus 3. So medyo babalikan nyo lang din yung factorization nyo dito. Anyway, yan, may tatlo kang factors, x, tapos x minus 3, and x plus 3. So ngayon, kunin natin yung tatlong value ng x. Since naka-third degree siya, so meaning tatlo din yung magiging x value natin. So yung first value natin is equal to 0. Next is equal to positive 3. And yung last is x is equal to negative 3. So itong tatlo na to is galing lang naman sila dito sa ating factors na yan. In-equate lang natin silang lahat sa 0. Anyway, tatlo yung ating x value. Therefore, tatlo rin yung points na mag-i-intersect sa ating x-axis. So, ganun din naman pag tinignan nyo yung graph, tatlong beses siya mag-i-intersect sa x-axis. So, if x is equal to 0, yung y natin is magiging, so substitute natin yung x is equal to 0 dito sa ating given function. So, ang x natin is 0, yung y natin is, as you can see, magiging 0 lang din. If x is equal to 3, ang ating y is magiging 0 din, syempre. Tapos yung y natin dito, pag ang x is negative 3, 0 din. Ayan. So mag-intersect ang ating curve sa x-axis sa 0, 0, sa 3, 0, and negative 3, 0. But since first quadrant lang yung pinapahanap sa atin, ang i-adapt lang natin na x values ay itong dalawa. Ito kasing negative 3, dito yun siya magpo-fall. And ito na yung makukuhang area pag ginamit pa siya. Hindi naman pinapa-analyze sa atin yan ng problem. Anyway, therefore, our limits are, yung upper limit natin is equal to 3, and then yung lower limit natin is 0 lang. Okay. So medyo mahaba, kumukuha lang tayo ng limit. Pero pwede kayo makahanap ng way kung paano nyo mapapabilis. So, mas detailed lang yung sa discussion natin. Anyway, since we already have the limits, proceed tayo sa step 3 o yung pagsiset up ng ating definite integral. So, integral of, lagay natin agad yung limits natin na 0 to 3. And then, yung ating gagamitin na strip dyan is patayo or vertical strip. So you have here y, tas ito yung inyong dx. Right? So yung y is y upper minus y lower. So yung y upper natin is yung given function ng negative 1/3 x cubed plus 3x. Ano na naman yung y lower natin? Yung y function sa baba is nasa x-axis. Therefore, yan ay y is equal to 0. So huwag kalimutan yung dx. So now we simplify our definite integral. So lagay ulit natin agad yung limits. So ito ay magiging negative 1/3 x cubed na lang plus 3x dx dahil 0 lang naman yung y lower natin. So direct integration na tayo. So integral of 1/3 or negative 1/3 x cubed is just negative 1/3 x raised to 4 over 4. Diba? Plus 3x squared over 2. So 0 to 3. So, upper limit minus lower limit, but since 0 lang yung lower limit natin and magsi-0 lang yung value, hindi na natin isusulat. Okay? So, negative 1 over 12 na yan dahil 3 times 4 yung denominator. Then yung x raised to 4 na 3 raised to 4 plus yung 3 over 2 times 3 squared natin. So, simplify natin yan. Ang value natin, pag sinimplify, yan ay magiging 27 over 4, huwag kalimutan yung square units na unit. Okay. Baka nagtataka kayo guys, bakit ah vertical strip yung ginamit natin at inisip nyo kung pwede ba yung horizontal strip. So pwede, try natin kung pwede nga ba. So using horizontal strip, sige. So pag horizontal strip, di ba meron tayong dy and then may x tayo na length. So kailangan natin is yung formula na a is equal to integral of yung function na nasa right ng ating strip minus yung x o yung function na nasa left ng ating strip dy. So may limit tayo na c to d. So kung titingnan natin itong graph natin, sige, kung ano ba yung nasa, ano ba yung function na nasa right ng strip natin? Di ba ito yun? Which is yung negative 1/3 x cubed plus 3x. Okay, minus. Yung nasa right naman niya is itong curve na to, which is, yun lang din, di ba? Negative 1/3 x cubed plus 3x dx. So may limit siya na, limit niya is 0 to 3, di ba? Right? So kung ganyan pala, is parehas lang yan. So ika-cancel out lang natin, 0 yan. So therefore, ang area pala natin is 0, which is hindi makatotohanan. Dahil based on the graph, meron talagang area na nabuo sa first quadrant. So hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na 0. So therefore, we could conclude na kapag ang ating strip is tumama siya sa isang function lang. Halimbawa, ayan, kagaya ng nasa graph, tumama lang yung kanyang magkabilang dulo sa iisang function. Ibig sabihin, magsi-0 o hindi po pwede na gamitin yung strip na yun. Dapat kapag nag-strip tayo is yung tatamaan niya is yung magkaibang function para magkaroon tayo ng value. Okay, so I hope clear yung short discussion natin yan. So pagpipili kayo ng strip kung vertical or horizontal, tingnan nyo mabuti kung tatamaan nyo ba yung iisang function lang. Okay. Let's proceed to our next example. Example number 3. Solve the area bounded by x is equal to x squared minus 4. The x-axis and the lines. X is equal to negative 1 and x is equal to negative 2. So here, binigyan tayo ng curve which is y is equal to x squared minus 4, which is clearly a parabola. Okay, so nasa vertex form ang ating parabola na yan. So as you can see, itong curve na nakikita natin sa ating graph, ito, yan. Yung part na yan plus I yung y is equal to x squared minus 4. Okay? And then sabi din, bounded ang ating area ng x-axis. So ito yun. And then bounded din siya ng line x is equal to negative 1. So ito siya. And then bounded siya ng line na x is equal to 2. So ito naman yun. So lagyan lang natin ng label para mas clear. So ito yung x is equal to 2. Ito yung x is equal to -1. And then ito yung x-axis or y is equal to 0. So therefore, ito yung area na ating isosolve. Ayan. Ayan yung area na ating isosolve. So first, we sketch the region. So na-prepare na natin yung sketch para hindi na tayo mag-sketch dahil alam nyo naman na paano mag-graph. Next is we determine the boundaries or limits A and B. So dito, ito yung boundary natin, hindi ba? Ayan. So ngayon, identify na natin yung limits. So paano natin i-identify? Ay set up muna natin yung strip na gagamitin natin. Okay? Ayan. So gamit ulit tayo ng vertical strip. And we have Y here. Okay? So yung limit natin, kasi yung dx natin na yan, o yung mismong differential area natin is under from left to right, from dito, papunta dito. Di ba? So ang magiging limit natin is just simply x is equal to -1 to x is equal to 2. So for determining ng limits A to B or A and B, so yung strip natin isa under from left or yung from x is equal to -1. Kasi yan yung dulo ng ating boundary, di ba? Nung area natin na sinade kanina. Tapos under yung dx horizontally papunta dun sa x is equal to 2 dahil yan yung dulo ng ating boundary using the functions na given. So therefore, we could conclude na yung limits natin ay x is equal to -1 and x is equal to -2. Okay, so malalaman natin siya by just simply looking sa ating graph. Okay, so yun ang option natin is either we solve algebraically, pwede din naman, or just look in the graph as long as accurate yung graph na ginawa niyo. Okay? So next is we set off the definite integral A is equal to, so since naka-vertical strip tayo, ang gagamitin natin ulit is y upper, o yung y upper natin is yung ating x-axis or just simply equal to 0 kasi y is equal to 0, di ba? Minus, yung lower natin is itong ating mismong parabola o yung ating x squared minus 4 dx. Okay? So, set up natin yung limits from -1 to +2. So, simplify lang natin. -1 to 2. Ito ay negative x squared minus 4 dx. So, be careful sa inyong sign. Okay, sa grouping symbol. So, by performing the basic integration, -1 squared, so distribute nyo lang yung negative plus 4 dx. O paghiwalayin lang natin, -1 to negative x squared dx plus 4 dx. Now we get the value of area using upper limit minus lower limit. So negative 2 cubed over 3 plus 4 times 2 minus lower limit na negative, -1 cubed over 3 plus 4 times -1. So, simplify nyo lang yung inyong values dito. You will have 9 square units as the value of our area here in example number 3. So for example number 4, solve the area bounded by x or y is equal to x cubed and x-axis between x is equal to -2 and x is equal to 2. So first, we graph our functions or our given curves. And then yung nakikita nyo na to, itong ititrace ko, yung part na yan yung y is equal to x cubed. Okay, so ito yung part na yan. Then binigyan tayo ng boundary din ng x-axis. Yung x-axis natin itong nakahiga. Ayan. And we know na yung function ng x-axis is y is equal to 0. Okay? And then binigyan din tayo ng yung pinaka-limit natin o yung boundary na from -2, eto, x is equal to -2 and x is equal to +2. Okay? So, okay na tong first step. Second step, okay na din. Then for the third step is i-set up natin yung definite integral. So since dalawa yung magiging area natin, ito kasi yung pinapasolve na area, saka ito, dalawa dapat. kailangan natin mag-strip ng magkahiwalay dyan, okay? So, hindi natin siya pwedeng isolve ng sabay. Dahil iba yung y upper nitong nasa left side and iba din yung y upper ng kabila. Okay? So, pwede natin i-set up magkahiwalay yan, dalawang area. So, yung A total is equal to A1 plus A2. Okay? So, yung A1, solve natin. So, integral, ito yung A1 natin. Tapos, ito yung A2. So, yung A1 is equal to integral of yung y upper ng ating itong portion na to, itong nasa left side is yung 0 minus. O tapos, ito ay x cube, yung y lower natin. Tapos dx, ang limit niya is -2 papunta sa 0 kasi hanggang dito lang yun, okay? So, equal yan sa integral of -x cube dx. Simplify natin, yan ay magiging -x raised to 4 over 4 from -2 to 0. So, substitute lang natin yung values. So, A1 is equal to 0 raised to 4 over 4 minus -2 raised to 4 over 4. So, A1 natin is equal to 4 square units. For our area 2 or A sub 2 natin is A sub 2 is equal to integral of, dito naman tayo sa right side, yung y upper natin is yung x cube na. Okay? Minus yung y lower natin na 0 o yung sa x-axis. Then dx from 0 to positive 2 naman. Ano? Mula dito, papunta dito sa ating right na x is equal to 2. Simplify, we have integral of x cube dx from 0 to 2. Then integrate, so x raised to 4 over 4 from 0 to 2. So area 2, upper limit natin is 2 raised to 4 over 4 minus 0 raised to 4 over 4. Ito ay 0 na agad. So A sub 2 is equal to 4 square units. So to get the value of area total natin is 4 plus 4. Galing dito sa ating equation kanina. Therefore, our area total na hinihingi sa problem number 4 is just 8 square units. Okay? So actually, class, pwede nyo namang isolve ito using horizontal straight gaya na sabi ko kanina. But you have to find limits from limits sa y values. Okay? So patayo naman kasi siya aandar. Yung strip natin is magta-travel vertically. So y value ang kailangan niya sa limits. Okay, so pwede nyo i-try para ma-verify nyo na 8 units lang din yung kanyang sagot. So magkahiwalay nyo rin isosolve yung inyong area kagaya ng ginawa natin. Okay? So for our example number 5, we have find the area of the region bounded by the curve y is equal to square root of x minus 1. The axis o yung x and y axis and the line y is equal to 5. Okay, so first step natin is to sketch the region. So na-sketch na natin, nag-provide na tayo ng ating boundaries. So as you can see dito sa ating graph, ito yung ating, since baka kasi nagtataka kayo, saan galing yung x is equal to y squared plus 1? Ito kasi din yun, itong y is equal to square root of -1. But since medyo complicated yung given natin na curve, pwede kasi natin yung i-transform into much easier to analyze na function. So, mabilis lang, y is equal to square root of x minus 1. So, get the square root of both sides. You will have y squared is equal to x minus 1. And then, iwalay nyo lang yung x. Magkakaroon ka x is equal to y squared plus 1. So, ito, ayun din yun. Ito, yun nando sa graph natin. So, algebraic solution lang din. Tinransform lang natin sa much easier na function. So next is we determine the boundaries. Okay, so binigyan naman na tayo ng mga boundaries. Ano? So depende na lang kung gagamitin natin or gusto pa natin mag-solve na ibang boundary. But to save time, i-adapt na natin yung mga boundaries na binigay sa atin. So binigyan tayo dito ng boundary na access. Ano? So ito yon, ito yung isa. Tapos ito yung nasa taas na isa. Wherein, ang equation niya is y is equal to 0. Itong nasa baba. Ito yun. Tapos yung nasa taas is y is equal to 5. So po pwede natin gamitin yan as limits. So 0 to 5. So yung strip natin, pag inadapt natin yung y values na limit, is magiging horizontal. Kagaya ng nakikita nyo na to. Okay? So dy times x So, aandar yung strip natin mula 0 papunta sa taas na y is equal to 5. So, next we set up the definite integral and simplify. So, since using horizontal strip, so area natin is equal to integral of yung x right minus x left. Shinortcut ko na lang yung subscript niya, di ba? Y o dy from C to D. O sige, substitute natin yung mga values or yung functions. Yung x right natin is itong mismong curve or yung y squared plus 1 minus yung y left natin, ay x left natin is itong x-axis which is ang equation or function niya is just 0. Okay? dy. So, huwag nyo kalimutan yung limit from 0 to positive 5. So, area is equal to integral of y squared plus 1 dy, 0 to 5. Okay, simplify natin. Yung y squared pag in-integrate natin magiging y cubed over 3 plus integral of 1 dy is just equal to y from 0 to 5. O, upper limit natin, so yung 5 cube, 3 plus yung y na 5 minus lower limit na 0 cube over 3 plus 0. So, itong portion na to is 0 na agad. So, analyze natin itong first term. If we substitute, if we simplify yung itong values natin, you may check. That will be equal to 140 over 3 square units. So actually class, pwede nyo namang i-decimal places yan, ano. Pero since hindi naman tayo pwedeng gumamit ng calculus here in calculus, kung ano lang nakuha nyo mismo. Ano? So 140, then 140 over 3. So ganun lang yung equation number, yung example number 5 natin. So kung kanina meron tayong diniscuss na areas under the curve or under a curve, dito naman is areas between two curves. Okay, so hindi na siya basta minus 0 kasi puro minus 0 yung nando sa example natin. So dito, hindi na siya 0. So we have here the first example, find the area bounded by the curve y is equal to x squared and the lines y is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1. So as you can see in our graph, hindi na natin siya i-detail sa graphing. So ito na agad yun. Ito kasing first function, yung y is equal to x squared, clearly parabola yan. So pag nakakita kayo ng quadratic function, parabola agad yung graph nun. So ito yun plus. Itong may label. So y is equal to x squared. And then yung line natin na y is equal to 0 is ito lang yun. Y is equal to 0. And then binigyan tayo na x is equal to 0 or yung ating y-axis. Okay? Y-axis or x is equal to 0. Okay, so therefore, itong naka-shade ng green yung ating gagamitin o isosolve na area. So ito ay po pwedeng horizontal or vertical strip. So pwede natin i-analyze na lang yung ating area using the vertical strip. So we have dx and we have y. Okay? So identify the limits. Yung ating strip is aandar mula dito sa ating sa ating y-axis which is x is equal to 0. And then, papunta dito sa intersection ng line na y is equal to 1, papunta dito sa curve natin. But hindi natin alam kung ano yung limit, ano yung x value dyan. So, para malaman natin kung ano yung upper limit na ito, o yung limit na yan, substitute nyo lang to, yung y is equal to 1 dito sa ating curve. Okay? So, kung yung yung y is equal to 1, and then meron ka y is equal to x squared, yung 1 na to, lagay nyo lang dyan, 1 is equal to x squared. So, kunin nyo lang yung square root ng both sides. You will have x is equal to positive negative 1. Okay? Since so magkakaroon kang dalawang x value, di ba? So, positive and negative. Yung negative 1 nandito sa kabila. Nandito yun eh. So, ito yung negative 1. Kasi ito yung positive 1. But since ito lang naman yung pinapa-analyze na area, hindi kasama yun dito. Yung positive 1 lang yung kukunin natin. Okay? So, hindi natin yung kasama yung negative 1. Therefore, ang ating limit is x is equal to 0 to x is equal to positive 1. Okay, so substitute natin, gamitin natin yung formula kanina. Using vertical strip, so area is equal to integral of yung y upper natin, yun ulit ha, y upper minus y lower times dx. So y upper natin is Ay, ba't 0 to? Sorry. Ito, y is equal to 1. Mali ng sulat. Okay? So, itong y upper natin is y. 1 is equal to or minus itong curve natin, yung y lower na x squared. dx. Okay? So, dx yan kasi magta-travel yung ating strip horizontally. Ang limit natin is 0 to positive 1. So, a is equal to, paghiwalayin lang natin, or pwede na tayo mag-direct integration. So, integral of 1 dx is just 1 times x or x minus integral of x squared is x cubed over 3 from 0 to 1. A is equal to, so upper limit natin is 1 minus 1 cube over 3 minus 0 minus 0 cube over 3. Simply equal to 0 yan. A, so analyze natin to. I-simplify natin. Yan ay 2/3 square units. So for example, number 2, calculate the area between the curves y is equal to x times quantity 3 minus x and y is equal to x. So if we graph our given functions, so makikita niya itong first function natin, yung y is equal to x3 minus x, yan kasi ay parabola. Okay? So kaya kung nakikita nyo, itong portion na ito, yan yung function na yun. Okay? And then yung line naman na nakaslant, yun yung y is equal to x or y minus x. Right? So first is sketch the region. So meron na tayo. So ito yung ating area na isosolve. Kasi yan yung bounded ng dalawang curve. So areas between two curves, itong isa, tapos ito yung y is equal to x. Yan yung dalawang curve na tinutukoy. So next is determine the boundary. Okay, to determine the boundary, so parehas silang dadaan sa 0, 0, 0 or sa origin ng ating plane. Okay? So pwede nyo naman i-verify, mag-set up kayo ng values. If x is equal to ganito, y will be equal to ganyan. Okay? Pwede nyo namang i-set, yun ay magagamit nyo rin pag nag-graph kayo. Anyway, para makuha natin yung limit na isa, itong point na ito, kasi yun yung end point ng ating area, ganun ulit, substitute natin yung isang function sa isang function. Ang tawag doon is solving the equation simultaneously. Okay? So we have y is equal to x times 3 minus x. Or pwede natin simplify yan ng 3x minus x squared. So yung y is equal to x, substitute natin dito sa ating function. So ito ay x is equal to 3x minus x squared. So simplify lang natin sila. Magkakaroon tayo ng x squared. Lipat ko lang yung x squared sa kabila. Tapos plus x minus 3x or x squared minus 2x is equal to 0. So x times, factor out ko lang x minus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, you will have x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 2. Okay, so sa point na x is equal to 0, magi-intersect sila. So ito yun. Yan yun, class. And then magi-intersect din sila yung dalawang function natin sa x is equal to 2. So ito yun. Ha? Therefore, ito ay x is equal to 2. Therefore, our limits will be 0 to 2. Okay? So next, we set up the definite integral and simplify. So pwede kayong pumili ng horizontal or vertical strip. But since pagdating sa portion na ito, so taas na yan, pag nag-vertical strip kayo, bawa vertical strip yung naisip yung gamitin. Ayan. Bawa vertical strip na gagamitin nyo. So dito, sa portion na to, papunta dito, okay pa. Kasi yung right nyo is itong y equal to x, tapos yung y left nyo is yung curve. Pero pagdating nyo dito sa portion na ito, yung y left and right nyo is parehas na. Diba? So pag ginanyan yung strip nyo dyan, parehas na. Actually, pwede na naman gamitin yung horizontal strip basta hanggang dito lang sa portion na ito. Ganyan lang. Hindi kasama yung nasa taas. So pagdating doon sa nasa taas, magva-vertical strip na kayo. So medyo time consuming yung dalawa pa isosolve nyo. But here, pwede na lang tayo vertical strip. Mas madali naman. So dx and then y. Okay? So ito din actually, itong dalawang limit natin is magagamit natin for vertical strip. Okay, let's proceed sa area using vertical strip. Integral of y upper natin is yung gamitin na lang natin ito. So 3x minus x squared minus yung y lower natin na y is equal to x. Therefore, x lang yan. Dx. Limits 0 to 2. So simplify natin. So you will have 3x. Itong x yung minus x dito lagay ko na. Minus x squared. Dx from 0 to 2 equal to integral of 2x na lang siya. 2x minus x squared dx. So, proceed ko lang dito, class. So, area is equal to integral of 2x dx is 2x squared over 2 minus x cubed over 3 from 0 to 2. So, cancel lang yan. So, a is equal to x squared minus x cubed over 3, 0 to 2. So, hindi na natin gagamitin yung 0 kasi alam naman natin na 0 lang din yung kalalabasan. So, therefore, our area will be equal to 2 squared minus 2 cubed over 3. Simplify, you will have 4 over 3 square units. So now we have example number 3. Determine the area of the region between the curves y is equal to x squared and then y is equal to 2 minus x. And then isama na rin natin, class, yung ating x-axis. Okay? So first is graph natin yung ating given functions. So we know that this orange is a parabola, no? So yan yung x squared. And then yung blue naman natin is linear function lang siya, or yung y is equal to 2 minus x. Okay, so sinama natin yung x-axis para boundary din niya. So ito yun, yan ay y is equal to 0, gaya ng paulit-ulit nating sinasabi kanina. So now we set up the boundary. So itong portion na to yung ating area na isosolve. Okay? So next is determine the boundaries and limits A and B. So ayan yung option natin na horizontal or vertical strip. So pwede tayo mag-analyze ng horizontal or pwede naman vertical. So mag-vertical lang tayo, ang restriction lang natin pagdating sa portion na ito is mag-iiba na yung y upper ng ating strip. Kasi di ba sa portion na ito, itong portion na ito, itong sinishade ko, yung y upper dyan is yung ating given curve na x squared. And then paglagpas dun sa broken line is ito na siya. Ang y upper na niya is 2 minus x. So po pwede naman natin gawin yun. Ang magiging equation lang natin mamaya is a total is equal to a1. Ito yung y upper is x squared plus a sub 2 o yung y upper na 2 minus x. Okay? So pwede natin gawin yun. Kailangan muna nating hanapin. Yung first limit kasi natin is 0 dahil dadaan sa 0 ang ating curve. And then yung next limit is ito para sa a sub 1. For a sub 2 naman, ang limit natin is etong x value dito, yung sa broken line, papunta sa positive 2. Okay? So yung mga limits na yan is by observation lang naman since accurate naman ang ating graph. So para mas ma-verify nyo if tama ba yung mga limits, isolve nyo na lang siya in algebraic way. Okay. So identify muna natin kung ano yung x value do sa broken line na yun. So paano ba natin malalaman yun? Solve the equation simultaneously. So paano ba ulit yun? I-equate lang natin yung dalawa natin na given function. So we have here x squared is equal to 2 minus x. So ito yung parabola, y is equal to x squared. Itong 2 minus x yung ating line. So solving simultaneously, lipat ko sa kabila yung x, magiging positive x. Magiging negative 2 naman yung 2 from the right side. So by factorization, we will have x plus 2 times x minus 1, 0. Therefore, the values of our x sa portion ng intersection ng ating given function is x is equal to negative 2 and x positive 1. So, dyan sila mag-intersect na x value. So, para makuha natin yung y, isi-substitute lang natin siya sa, kahit saan sa kanilang dalawa. So, adapt natin to. Sige, y is equal to x squared. If x is equal to negative 2, y will be equal to positive 4. If x is equal to positive 1, y is equal to positive 1 din. Okay, so ito ay negative 2 and 4. And then 1 and 1. So sa dalawang points na yan, dyan mag-i-intersect yung curve and yung line function natin or linear function. So sa negative 2 and positive 4, di ba nandito sa left side yan? So extend ko lang siya para makita nyo. So extend ko lang din yung blue na yan. So dito sila mag-i-intersect sa negative 2 and 4. But since hindi naman tayo dyan nagsusolve ng area, dito sa kabilang side, di ba itong 1, 1 yan, ito siya. Which is dun siya nag-intersect. Therefore, yung x value sa portion na ito sa intersection is equal to 1. So therefore, yung limit sa area 1 natin is 0 to 1. And then yung limit sa area 2 natin is 1 to 2. Okay, so ito yun, di ba? So next is set up the definite integral. Area total is equal to. Yung area sa buwan natin is integral of. So ano yung y upper natin dyan? Yung x squared. Minus yung y lower is 0. dx plus yung limit, wag kalimutan, 0 to 1. Sa a sub 2, ang limits dyan is 1 to 2. So ang y upper sa ating area 2, itong kalahati, is 2 minus x, di ba? Minus 0. Yung y lower kasi is 0, x-axis. dx, integration. Integral of x squared is just x cubed over 3. Tapos 0 to 1 plus integral of 2 minus x is 2x minus x squared over 2 from 1 to 2. Okay, magkakamali class ng limits haba kasi itong x cubed over 3 is maidamay niya sa 1 to 2 na limit. Ano? So, ingat lang kayo doon. So, dito tayo sa first term. 1 cubed over 3. So, 0 lang yun. Hindi na natin i-compute yun na nasa lower limit ng first term. So, proceed na agad tayo sa second term. So, we have 2. Yung 2 na upper limit. 2 squared over 2 minus 2 times 1 minus 1 squared over 2. Okay, so simplify natin. Yung first term natin is, so now we simplify yung ating itong nag-substitute tayo ng upper and lower limit. So yung una natin is 1/3 yan, di ba? So yung second term natin is 4 minus 2 lang yan. 4 minus 2. Tapos yung last one is 2 minus 1/2. Try natin i-simplify. Yan ay magiging 5 over 6 square units. So be careful lang class sa inyong grouping symbol and sa sign kasi doon tayo usually namamali. Okay? So baka iniisip nyo po pwede bang mag-horizontal strip dito? Pwede naman class. So ang problem lang is magkakaroon kayo ng x right minus x left. So since x yung kailangan nyo, x in terms of y na function, so kailangan nyo pang i-convert itong y. So convert nyo pa yan sa x is equal to square root of y. So medyo komplikado pag nag-integrate pa kayo ng square root. Pero yung isa kasi 2 minus x, magiging x is equal to 2 minus y siya. But ito kasi medyo komplikado pa siya, may square root. So mas mabilis if hindi nyo na i-convert. So mag-stick na lang kayo agad sa vertical strip. Okay? So kung gusto nyo rin itry, just to prove na parehas lang yung sagot. Pag nag-vertical and horizontal strip, okay lang din naman. Okay, we have here, for example number 4, find the area of the region bounded above by y is equal to x squared plus 1, which is a parabola class, ano? Bounded below by y is equal to x, and bounded on the sides by x is equal to 0, or ito yung ating y-axis, and x is equal to 1. So as you can see, meron na tayong graph agad dito. No? So yung white sa taas, yun yung ating parabola, which is y is equal to x squared plus 1. And then yung green na nakapa-slant is yun yung y is equal to x. Since 1 degree lang naman, linear function siya. So yung isa pa is yung x is equal to 1 na nakapatayo na green is another boundary natin. And then yung last boundary natin is yung x is equal to 0, or yung simply the y-axis. So itong x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 0 is yung ating limit na natin. Ano? Gamitin na natin kaysa maghanap pa tayo ng ibang limit. So if x value ang ating limit, therefore ang ating strip is vertical. Okay? So since andar yung ating strip from left to right, so horizontally yun, ano? Dx and then y. So if we have vertical strip, we will set up our definite integral using this formula y upper minus y lower. So in this case, yung y upper natin is yung ating parabola o yung x squared plus 1 minus yung ating y lower na yung line na nakaslant o yung y is equal to x. So dx. So huwag kalimutan yung limit natin na 0 to 1. So simplifying, so meron tayong integral of x squared minus x plus 1. So 0 to 1 dx. So diretso integration na tayo. A is equal to, so yung x squared pag in-integrate yan ay x cubed over 3. Minus, pag in-integrate ang x, magiging equal to x squared over 2. And lastly, 1 dx, pag in-integrate is just simply plus x from 0 to 1. So upper limit natin is 1. So 1 cubed over 3 minus 1 squared over 2 plus 1. So yung next natin is yung lower limit, but since 0 lang siya, and lahat yan is may x na variable, so 0 lang din yung magiging sagot niya. So A is equal to, simplify natin yung buo na yan, yan class ay equal sa 5 over 6 squared units. So huwag niyo kakalimutan yung inyong units. Okay? So for example number 5, binigyan tayo dito ng dalawang curves. Okay, dalawang curve na yan. So hindi tayo binigyan ng anything na x value or y value para gamitin natin as boundary. Okay, so first, sketch natin. Pero actually, Halimbawa, time constraint na, pwedeng hindi nyo na i-graph. Right? So, may time na pwedeng hindi i-graph lalo, short na yung time. Pero minsan kasi binibigyan din natin yung point yung graph eh. Kasi yun yung magiging basis natin. Pero kung hindi talaga kaya, you may just identify kung ano yung nasa taas, ano yung nasa baba, ano yung nasa right and left ng inyong graph. Right? So, ang gagawin nyo lang is mag-a-assume kayo ng value. Okay? So, dito, assume lang kayo ng x value. So, sabihin natin, x is equal to 1/3. O, pwede naman ganyan. So, kung gagamitin natin itong una, y is equal to, yun, 1/3, apply lang natin, substitute, yan ay 1/9. If x is equal to 1/3 naman, using itong second equation, we will have 2 times 1/3 minus 1/3 squared. Yan ay equal sa 2/3 minus 1/3 or 1/9, 5/9. So obviously, mas malaki yung pag ginamit itong y is equal to 2x minus x squared. Therefore, ang nasa taas na curve is etong may bilog, ano? So yan ay opens downward kasi may negative, ano? So balikan nyo na lang yung concept ng inyong curve. So pwedeng pag ganyan yung curve nyo, isin ko lang, pwedeng pag ganyan yung plus, and then etong y is equal to x squared, pwede siguro pag ganyan yun. So ito yung ipapasolve sa atin na area. Okay? So po pwedeng gamitin natin dyan is vertical strip. Vertical strip na lang. Kasi pag hindi kayo nag-vertical strip yan, horizontal, may mga portion na magtatapat, ang tatamaan ng x right and x left na boundary nyo is yung parehas na function. Okay, so vertical strip na lang. So mula dito, papunta dito sa point na to is parehas yung y upper and y lower. So meron na tayong rough graph. Okay, yung quick graph. So lagyan lang natin ng label. Ito yung y is equal to x squared. Kasi itong nasa taas is yung y is equal to 2x minus x squared. So kailangan natin yung boundary. Ano yung x value sa portion na ito? Saka ano yung x value sa portion naman na yun. Okay? So paano natin yung solve? Gagamitan natin ng algebra. Solve equations simultaneously by simply equating them. So x squared is equal to 2x minus x squared. So lipat nyo lang sa kabilang side yung mga values. So x squared plus x squared minus 2x is equal to 0. So you have 2x squared minus 2x is equal to 0. So factor out 2x, magiging x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now you have 2x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 0. And then x minus 1 is equal to 0, x is equal to 1. Therefore, yung ating curve is mag-intersect sa x is equal to 0 or itong point na ito, mag-intersect ulit sila sa point na ito, x is equal to 1. So now we set off the definite integral and then we will simplify it. So a, since nasa vertical strip tayo, we will have a y upper o yung upper function natin minus the lower y or the lower function natin, ano? Yung boundary ng ating strip. So for the y upper, we will have a 2x minus x squared. Then we will have a lower function or y lower, which is x squared dx. So yung limits natin is 0 to 1. So A is, simplify lang natin, 2x minus x squared minus x squared dx. Integral of 1. So simplify lang ulit natin para mas madali ng ating integration. 2x minus 2x squared dx. Okay? So by integration, yung 2x, pag in-integrate, magiging 2x squared over 2, or simply cancel out na yan, minus 2 over 3, di ba? X cubed from 0 to 1. So, upper limit natin is 1. So, 1 squared minus 2/3 ng 1 cube. So, hindi na natin gamitin yung 0 kasi 0 lang din magiging value niya. So, 1 minus 2/3 is equal to 1/3. So, we have 1 squared minus 2/3 times 1 cube is equal to 1/3 squared units. Okay? So, ito na yung ating sagot. So, kung pwede nyo namang i-decimal yan, kung halimbawa, 1/4 yung sagot, o di 0.25. So, parang common sense na lang din naman. Okay lang naman. Pero, mas magandang makita kasi na fraction na lang siya. Parang proof na rin na hindi naman kayo nag-calculate. Okay, so bawal talaga mag-calculate dito. Kasi pwede nyo ma-solve tong areas using the calculator. Ano? So, pwede nyo gamitin, pa-check lang. Pero, we need solution kasi dito. Since application to ng napag-aralan nyo from the previous topics sa integral calculus. So I hope clear yung ating discussion. So, puro ano lang dito, no? Puro functions, puro quadratic function, yung mga curves natin, tapos puro linear function, tapos may mga cubic function din tayo nadaanan. Pero meron din kasi tayong tinatawag ng mga polar coordinates. So, try natin siyang i-discuss later. So if you have questions, clarifications, and some concerns with our discussion, you may raise it sa ating group chat or you simply direct sa akin sa ating private message, direct message para ma-address natin kung meron kayong questions. So that would be all for our discussion for the module areas between two curves and areas under the curve. So thank you for watching and listening to our discussion for today.